Why does modern art make people so angry? Not confused, not unimpressed, angry. You see it all the time, headlines mocking an empty canvas that sold for millions. Comment sections erupting when a banana duct taped to a wall is called art. People walk into museums, look at abstract blobs or industrial trash heaps on display and ask, "Is this a joke?" The anger is real, and it's not new. This is not a story about art. It's a story about people, about trust, about beauty, about what happens when you break the rules of meaning and expect people to applaud. Because for centuries, art had rules. There was perspective, anatomy, technique. Art was about skill, about recreating the world with clarity, with elegance. Artists trained for decades to master the human figure, the landscapes, the sacred. Art was a mirror, reflecting the world back to us with divine perfection. Then came modern art, and that mirror cracked. In the late 19th century, artists like Monet and Cézanne started painting with loose strokes. The critics were horrified. The colors were messy. The subjects were blurred. They called it unfinished. They called it ugly. But it wasn't just the paintings that upset people. It was the message underneath. We don't want to copy the world anymore. We want to feel it. With every decade, the rules fell away. Picasso dismantled perspective. Duchamp submitted a urinal to an art exhibit and called it fountain. Jackson Pollock dripped paint on the floor. Rothko painted giant blocks of color and invited you to cry in front of them. And the more the art world praised them, the angrier the public got. Because here's the truth. Modern art doesn't just change what you see. It changes what counts. When a splatter becomes more valuable than a portrait. When a blank canvas sells for millions. When an artist calls silence a symphony, the question isn't just, what is art? It's, am I being tricked? It feels like a con, like the emperor's new clothes, and no one likes to feel stupid. That's where the anger starts. But it doesn't stop there. Some modern art is ugly on purpose. Some of it is offensive, and some of it is brutally political. Andres Serrano photographed a crucifix submerged in urine. Chris O'Feely used elephant dung to depict the Virgin Mary. Ai Weiwei exposed government abuse in China using broken porcelain. Banksy painted war, greed, surveillance, and stenciled it right onto your neighborhood wall. This kind of art doesn't want your admiration. It wants your discomfort. It dares you to be offended. And when you are, it says, good, that means it worked. So why do people hate modern art? Because it doesn't ask to be loved. Because it doesn't try to please you. Because it exposes the power structures of taste and tells you the rules were rigged all along. But the hate goes deeper. It's also about money. A piece of wire on a pedestal, valued at $300,000. A black square on canvas, $2 million. A banana taped to a wall sold for $120,000. And you're wondering, is this art or is this just laundering cash? The elite praises it. The market rewards it. But the average viewer feels alienated. And when the art world shrugs and says, you just don't get it, it feels like cultural gaslighting. So we fight back. We call it a scam, a joke. We demand beauty, meaning clarity. We long for a world where art could still speak without needing a curator's explanation. But maybe that's exactly the point. Because modern art doesn't whisper comfort. It screams complexity. It dares us to slow down in a world built for speed. To think when everything wants us to scroll. To feel, even when that feeling is rage. There's a reason dictators fear artists. There's a reason propaganda uses paintings. There's a reason revolutions begin with murals and songs. Art is dangerous because it changes what we see. And once you see differently, you can't go back. Maybe modern art is difficult because modern life is difficult. Because our world is messy, fractured, unpredictable. Because the stories we once believed about beauty, about God, about progress, have all been broken and rebuilt. And art reflects that. The canvas is no longer a mirror, it's a battlefield, where questions matter more than answers, where silence can be louder than color, where offense is the tool, not the mistake. So yes, modern art can make you angry, but maybe that anger means you're still paying attention, because apathy is the real enemy of art. And rage means you still care. Frustration means you still believe art should matter. And in a world where attention is currency, perhaps that's the most powerful response of all. This is the Art Files. Thank you for watching. And if this story challenged you, angered you, or maybe change the way you see, subscribe. Because we're just getting started.